full disclosure by AI.
Okay,
good.
go ahead. Oh, let me share. Oh,
We might be, because it didn't call it out, we might want to call it out.
yeah, we can. I'm gonna record it on my computer as well.
Okay.
All right. Welcome, everyone. This is the Personnel Commission meeting for
December 17th.
December 17th. Sorry,
Let me go back.
that threw me off. August 14th.
Are we in the wrong one?
Wait a minute.
Oh, did we miss a little edit there? Sorry about that.
Oh, no,
Yeah, there we go.
it's 17th, yeah.
Yeah, there we go. All right. December 17th, and it is 4:07 p.m. And into open session roll call. All three of the commissioners, we are all present. And 2.02 public comment. This is an opportunity for those out there who wish to address the commission. Each speaker is allotted up to 3 minutes. And is there anybody out there who would wish to address the commission at this time?
Not seeing anybody on Zoom, and there's no one present in the room.
Okay, we will move on to 3.3, item 3, informational reports. 3.01, union reports. Did see Rob out there. I don't know if you have anything. Hello, Rob.
Well, I'd like to defer to April 1st to try to be a gentleman. It's not easy for me, but I'm going to let April lead the way.
No, Rob, you go first. I went first last time. I insist.
Oh, okay. That's a fair and square. Hey, so first announcement. I'm announcing my retirement. It's January 4th. So I just wanted to say thank you to Greg and Rachel and the commission, first to the commission for volunteering and being part of making it a better work site. So thank you. And also to Greg and Rachel, they made me feel welcome and they heard my words. I leave with some regret because I think we've made great progress, but I feel like there's still more to do and representing our members, but it seems like they're coming around. And so that part's good. And so I have a replacement for at least the bargaining, and his name's Leo, and you met him last week. And then sometime in the next few months, my employer will hire a replacement to be with us. But yeah, so that's my comments. And so I'll turn it over to Rachel, but thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Rob.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't have a lot to share. We had our chapter meeting last week on the 10th, and that was pretty well attended. So that was kind of nice. It was Zoom. And Greg and I were able to meet a couple times for labor relations meetings. And Samuel was able to join us with a few. Sorry, I'm looking at my calendar right now, trying to refresh my brain. We did send out our negotiation survey to our bargaining unit members. So the deadline, or that one closes on January 9th. I think it's that Friday that we come back from break. So so far, it looks like we're getting quite a few responses. So that's great. And then we will be working out some dates with Greg to meet for negotiations.
Great. Thank you, April. All right. Let's see, where are we now?
Commission staff.
Commission staff reports. Thank you.
You first, go ahead.
Okay, I have a couple things here. So number one, most exciting is we've been working with the team to create some new student pathways that are linked to the CTE programs that we have at our secondary school. So as I've reported to you guys before, we already have this model kind of started with our PBHS kiddos, and we've gotten to do some really great things through a partnership with Eckerd Solutions. So Eckerd basically pays for 80 hours of these students' wages when they get an apprenticeship. So what we're working on now, and that's with our local community businesses. So if one of our kiddos goes and gets a job at Taco Bell, the incentive for Taco Bell to hire this kid is that Eckerd will pay their first 80 hours, and then from there they can decide if they want to pick them up for regular employment. So they get some free labor, the kid gets experience, and then a foot in the door to get these positions. So what I've been working on with Dr. Puccia is how can we, I want to hire kiddos. Like, we have classified opportunities, like Taco Bell's great, but come here. So we've been looking at our CTE pathways, looking at our classified positions, identifying what are some reasonable, we're not going to make them our chief electrician, that's not safe. But can we get them, if we have kids completing the food CTE pathway, the culinary CTE pathway, and they're interested and passionate about cooking, we have a Scratch Cooking Culinary award-winning program at our district. So can we get you into food service, and we'll get you some work experience, but you can also get some familiarity with recipe generation and all these things. If for nothing else, if you don't want to come and work for us at the end, we can get you some actual creditable things to put on your resume so that you can go into this industry and make sure that we're supporting that. And so we're meeting tomorrow with all of our classified directors to talk about opportunities in each of their departments. Elisa Rady has been fantastic. We've brought her into this. She's really kind of leading the charge and making sure that we're getting all of these things done. She's very organized, very passionate about what we're doing. So we've already kind of practically gone in and been like, these are positions we think we could create apprenticeships for, and just making sure that we have that stakeholder feedback from the classified directors, and then spilling it out into our certificated directors, seeing if we can build community relationship things. So there's a lot of ways that this could unfold that could be very big, but very exciting, and making sure that we're supporting all students, whether a four-year college is their pathway or not, and making sure that we're setting them up to be successful no matter what their interest is, and giving them opportunities to come and be a part of the district that they already have these relationships with. So we're really excited about that. We'll be bringing updates to you guys as the commission. Just wanted it on your radar, because then if we get this ball rolling, then we're going to be bringing you some apprenticeship job descriptions to approve. Obviously, they wouldn't be able to work longer than the 6 months. They'd be limited term, all of these things that happen. But we want to bring those things forward and start setting these things up for kiddos to get some opportunities and stay local, stay with us. If you're going to stick around and be an electrician, we hire electricians. Like, let's get you some things. Partnering with Questa through the Questa Promise, getting them if they need licensure certification, ACE certification for our mechanics, things like that. So just making sure that we're supporting them, the whole child, and regardless of what their pathway is. So we're very excited about that. A status update on the reclassification request packet. So I've only received one packet back. I've sent out 8 or 9, not a huge deal, just want to give you a status update. I didn't give anybody a hard timeline since we just started this new process and these new timelines, the hard cutoff of November 30th. I've been being really, I wanted to make sure that we were giving people time that maybe they don't necessarily know that and they didn't read the CBAs. I'm sure everybody's pouring through them with fine tooth comb because they're riveting reads. But basically, if they expressed intent or they submitted to me, even if it was a little bit later, I've been letting them complete the packet and returning it, not giving hard deadlines. I'm busy too, so I'm not going to mandate that they get it back to me in a week and then not be able to address it timely. But there are, I think I've actively engaged with at least 10. I've sent out about 23. So one person has submitted it back, and I'll be going through that process and going from there. And I'll give you guys updates as we make those determinations. And I think that's it for me, except for that I do want to express so much appreciation for Rob Perry. You've been a wonderful union partner. We are going to miss you dearly, and Leo seems to be wonderful, and we're excited to work with him and partner with him. But Rob, you've been wonderful to work alongside, a great advocate for your people, a great trusted resource in the things that we need and the things that we work on together. And we very much appreciate your stewardship of SEIU.
Okay, well, thank you. We've come a long ways together. Yeah. All right, thank you.
Well, I'll jump off from right there. I do really both Rob and April and with SEIU, Catherine Donner and just the general membership, as well as Samuel Ogren, working with April and the CSA group, just again expressing gratitude for the partnerships and you working with your membership to kind of be that and sometimes a filter, and we do realize that there are many members that do come to you with things that you realize are not a complaint or a grievance, and you counsel them and work with them and get them to work with their site folks. But again, I do appreciate that, the relationship and the partnership, and we will miss you, Rob.
Okay.
I don't know if I'll miss your question 36 of the day, but I'll miss you.
I do drive everybody crazy with the question of the day.
So
It's a trap. It's a trap.
yeah. It's hard for me not to take a moment, particularly this time of year, as we close out the first half of the year and recognize the entire HR team. And it has been a interesting transition down to 4 techs, and as Tracy left the department, and good for her, she stopped by the other day, and I didn't get a chance to engage with her too much, but she looks like retirement fits her well, and so we're glad for her. And but the entire tech team, Michelle, Brittany, Alisa, and Lupe are really settling into those new kind of functions, and Maria has been a great addition to the team. And then Rachel, we all know Rachel's doing her thing and working super hard to keep it all afloat and keeping me out of trouble. So I just want to recognize and thank them, because it is a relatively thankless job, and it's a lot of work. And so they do it well, and they do it with grace. So I just thank you to the team, and thank you to the PC. It's another, I can't believe it's a whole year and a half now since I got here, but again, thank you for your leadership and appreciate it. I do want to talk a little bit just about the reduction update. We did have our board meeting last night where we did present, and they did approve the reductions of $5,077,000 for the 27-28 school year. That is not insignificant. It's not inconsequential, and unfortunately, people will be impacted. There was a lot of hyperbole and a lot of people saying things that last night that didn't necessarily line up with what this will look like when it's done. And I truly believe the time and energy that went into the reductions on both the certificate and the classified side, I don't think there'll be a significant perceptible change for the kids' experience. That's just my opinion. I think the kids are a lot more resilient than we think, and I think sometimes that things that we do think are amazing and are amazing, kids don't realize that they're benefiting from it. And but nonetheless, I do think we'll work very hard to work with our certificated and classified unions to minimize the impact to people who do want to be here. As I look at it on the classified side, which is your area of oversight, there were 3 classifications that would be impacted. We had a grounds worker, and that grounds worker, and we worked with Rob, and we worked with that grounds worker and identified another position in the organization, which will really have no impact on that individual financially, which is at the end of the day the important thing, right? And then we're looking at, there's a potential reduction here at the district level of an office clerk. Again, we want to make the cuts as far away from the schools as possible. So just as the as we proceed towards March 15th is when I have to provide people notification. And I have to do it before then because I have to take it to the board and they have to approve it and all that fun stuff. So it'll most likely be the end of February. So we'll work very closely with any individual or individuals that may be impacted. And the one classification that I will say that will be impacted definitively, some people will be impacted, are library media technicians. And so we did have a reduction of a recommended reduction of 2.5 FTE. And so I will set to working very closely with April and Samuel and CSEA and the library techs. We'll set to work in January to help understand, we'll work with them on the effects and impacts of the reductions. And that'll all become very clear on what that will look like in 26, 27. So without going and getting into the crazy details of it, but I will provide you the same promise that I provided the board last night, that again, I will do my very best to work with the unions and the individuals who will be impacted and the sites, if they are to be impacted, to make sure that the impact is as small as possible, and do my best to make sure that people who want to be here and who want to continue to work for SLC USD will have that opportunity. And because we do know that at the end of the day, there are always retirements, resignations, just various things that happen over the course of the spring that create space for us to be a little bit more creative with how the reduction rolls out. And so that is my commitment to the Personnel Commission, that I will work diligently to minimize that impact. And we want to make sure that our employees, or valued employees, are treated as such. So we will, and as we did last year, I think at the end of the day, on the classified side, anybody who wanted to work had as much work as they wanted. And so if they were a 0.7 FTE, if they were a 6-hour person over here, we found a 6-hour position for them over here. Within, obviously, the guys within the confines of merit rules and regulations. So, and I will just work to keep you guys posted over the next few months on how things shake out. But again, I'll be sitting with both of our union partners very soon into January, and we'll start mapping it all out.
But you originally said that when you first started, you said 27, 28, and then you said 26, 27.
26, 27.
I thought that's what you meant.
Yeah.
I
So
just wanted to be
whatever next year is.
Yeah, next year, okay.
Thank you for the clarification. Yeah, those numbers are pretty interesting. I remember being a little kid and thinking about, in the year 2000, I'll be, now it's 2026. I'm an old man now.
All right, thank you for that. Commissioner reports, either of you have anything?
I do not.
No? Okay, I just have one update. Dr. Patia and I went to Monarch Grove what was that, Friday?
Mhm.
Friday,
Sounds good.
yeah, and met with Mr. Goosen.
Yep.
And had a little tour. That was great. It was great to see kids and all the staff in action. They are also have work going on there, so we got to see a little bit of that, and they've had to move things around to accommodate for that, but it sounded like everything was going well. Cute little school. I had never been there. Have either of you been there?
I have.
Yeah.
It's been a long time. but
It's
it's
a
been a long time.
great little school. I think I thought it was a larger enrollment than it is, but we got to see the TK. Oh, those little, I love those little ones.
That
yeah.
was fun.
Yeah, so Mr. Goose, and he's in his
First
second
full year.
First full year, that's right. First full year.
He was with us all last year for the
Yeah.
most part, but we had a tug of war with a neighboring district that shall go
That's right.
unnamed.
Yes.
And so he was here part-time for the first semester and then full-time second semester.
And he was able to show us a couple of we saw Resource, we saw, I think it was third grade, we saw an SDC class, so a little bit of everything, which was great. Met some of the staff, went into the library, boy, those kids were dialed in. I forget which group that was
I think
that was in there.
it was a mixed group,
It
which
was
was
a mix,
interesting.
yeah.
There were some students from the,
From Resource or
it was a resource class, but I think they have a CPI out there, or
They have a CP.
CEP.
CEP.
Anyway,
Yeah.
there was some, they were doing great.
Yeah, those kids were dialed in the library. They must have been working coding. That's what they were doing, coding. So that was great. Thank you for arranging that. And hopefully we can do some more of those. That's it for me.
Can I ask Rachel the one on Friday, because I was planning to go to PB. Is it still out where it used to be? Where is PB now?
Right next to Target.
Is it
So,
still out there?
Yeah.
I didn't know, somewhere in my brain, I thought it got moved. at
It's
some-
going to, so
It's going
like, 5 feet back,
Yeah.
but still, yeah, it is going to, but right now it's still in the same
Okay, anybody
campus.
else going at one?
I think it's
Yeah, let me
the
check
gathering
the time.
is like 10:15.
Oh,
I'll double check and
Double
and send
check,
it back
yeah,
to you.
let me know. Okay.
Yeah,
Or might have
they're
been.
doing the activities starting at 8:30, but the actual like celebration I think
Yeah,
starts at like 10:15.
You have an I have 8:45 to 11, because there's obviously, it's an ongoing
thing.
event, but
Okay.
Rachel
Let
will
me know
have
when
some
it-
specific.
Yeah, I'll
details,
send you or at least the breakdown of like what's happening at what times, and you can decide which piece you want to be a
Okay.
part of. But yes, if you guys are interested in going on Friday, they would love to have you, and it's a very special, awesome thing that they put together there at PB for their kiddos. So yeah, we're always happy to support.
I'll text you if my plans change, but right now I'm not able to go on physical therapy.
No worries, that's pretty important too. So.
Okay, 3.04 recruitment, hiring, and separation reports.
All right, so we have finally gotten this to kind of cooperate with this new system. So let me open up in here. And no, not January. I just went to this guy and I can't think of it. Okay.
So we have a few recruitments going on. Things are settling in that winter tiny lull of active recruitments, and then picking up in a major way on the cleanup and all of the things that have to happen. And back in that little window gets shorter and shorter each year. But we do have the main recruitments going on. Elementary principal assistant. Only one person made it through the whole process, so we don't have a rank of 3 for that position. I believe, I'm sure that Miss Jones was going to interview that one person and decide if they were going to refly it, since they have that flexibility. Our paraeducators.
I can give the update. She did interview, and we did offer the individual the
Oh, we did?
position. Yeah,
Okay.
she's pretty excited about having us.
Oh, that's great.
So it was a fruitful recruitment after all.
That is good, because yeah, that turnaround is quick. And as soon as we come back from break, we have no secretary, so
Right.
now we do. So paraeducator 1 and 2, so just standard movement with our paras. People come in and they go, or they promote, or they move. So Brittany is on top of that, working really hard. She never has a down season, off season. Hers is full tilt all the time, so she's keeping those wheels spinning. She's also running our EL aid recruitment and keeping that going. We have 2 vacancies right now that they're moving forward, and then they have some interviews scheduled for yesterday, and we'll see how many make it through when she finishes the scoring. And then the culinary worker 2, actually, we're just using that for an eligibility list. So we don't have a vacancy, but we're running the recruitment so that we have a valid eligibility list. So that's what that looks like.
One
Yeah.
thing on that report, we need to take Tracy's name off of there,
Oh,
or at least
you're right.
for starting,
You're right.
sorry.
And all ones I think we
I love
did.
Tracy, but
I know, she's not doing it. Who it is?
she stays on the other ones, right? That's just
Yeah, on the
from
ones
that
from
forward.
forward.
Okay.
Okay. But November,
And we'll go through and update them for the next meeting as well. But, okay, all right. So that is that one. And our personnel action items. So as you can see, still a lot of movement, still a lot of things to process, even if it's not active recruitment. If we go down to our classified separations, so we're getting some retirements in, we're getting some out of class limited term assignments to fill some holes as all of these things shake out staffing wise. And the team is just really doing an amazing job making these things happen, being really creative in their recruitment and their interview, making sure things are streamlined, getting people on board as quickly as possible, because especially when it's mid-year, when we get that last minute resignation or retirement effective tomorrow at 8 a.m., there's still kids there. There's still a need. There's still things happening. So our techs have been doing an amazing job getting everything ready for the winter break so that we are set up and we have our kids set up for success.
All right, moving on to 4.01, some action items, approval of minutes from our previous meeting.
I have to see how we have to link the minutes. Sorry guys, bear with me while I have some technical difficulties. I know we have trouble with that. I will have to bring our minutes back to our next meeting. So I'm thinking that they just did not link appropriately to this agenda.
I
Sorry
didn't
about
see
that.
them.
I didn't either.
Okay.
I didn't either.
I
But I
apologize.
thought it just.
I apologize. I will make sure to get that corrected.
Okay, so those approval of minutes will come back next month. Okay. 4.02, commission rule revision reclassification, and this is a second reading.
Yes, so this is Rule 3.14 regarding reclassification. So as we discussed in the last meeting, we've not made any substantive changes. These were to mirror the changes that were already done through our collective bargaining process. And so nothing structurally significantly different from what we were already doing, but just more transparent in what those timelines are, those expectations are, and giving employees a clear pathway of what requesting reclassification looks like, what their timelines are, what's required of them in order to make that request, and what our determinations look like and how quickly we have to get those back to people. So all of the language mirrors the CBA's been reviewed by all of our stakeholders and partners, and no changes from the last meeting.
So this is an action item, and does anybody present a motion?
I will make a motion that we approve the revision to Rule 314.
And I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, that one is approved. And 4.03, another rule revision, compensation for limited term employees. And this is a first reading.
There we go. So to bring this back for another first reading, because we did make substantive changes from the last meeting to this meeting. So as we talked about in the last meeting, where we're running into issues with this process-wise is that when we have limited term employees, and this is specific to our retired annuitants, come back, the current language says that they are entitled to the equivalent of their same rate of pay, and cannot go below their previous hourly wage. It goes on to kind of elaborate that if it exceeds a certain amount of time and they're reinstated and they get all of their rights and seniority, that's not true. We can't reinstate a retiree unless you're forfeiting your pension and all the, all of these things. So that's not true. So we've just, I meant to leave the strike through in here, but that was all of what item 3 was. So I've just removed it. It used to be more permissible and you could do it with the earnings limit and the 960 hours. And now that PERS has changed all of their retired annuitant restrictions, that's no longer applicable. So it's just omitting that.
and then clarifying this language to say that we'll put them on the rate of pay closest to what they had upon separating, but not to exceed their previous hourly wage. Because before it was they can't go below their previous hourly wage, and so where this is happening is if they were, you know, they made $23.35 an hour, and now our two steps is $23.31 and $23.46 is the next one. They were getting the $23.46, and then lapping people currently in the assignments, they're getting more than step 8, you know, they're getting all of these things. So it was becoming very challenging. And so we would like it to say not to exceed. We're gonna get you as close as to what you were, and the major difference, the largest one between steps right now would be a total of 63 cents. So maybe you will get 63 cents less than what you were getting when you were here, but we definitely can't pay you more than what you were earning when you're here. We're here, especially because this is for a limited term substitute role. That's the only way that this would be. So you're not doing the full depth, like if you're in a limited term subbing admin assistant, you're not doing the full depth of an admin assistant, you're not stepping in and making all of it. So it felt like this was the most equitable, reasonable way to approach placing the RAs in the very limited capacity that we're allowed to use them now anyways. I think we've had 3 total this year and probably won't exceed more than maybe 7 in a year moving forward, and that's mostly for our bus drivers. They have special skills, so we can't have RAs as bus drivers with a little bit more flexibility.
So this one has to come back again then?
It does have to
Okay.
come back.
All right, thank you for that one. All right, 4.04, commission rule revision parental leave, first reading.
So this is actually a second
That's,
reading.
yeah,
I thought we
We
discussed
did-
that,
I know.
but I was like,
I didn't know if it was the same.
yeah, same thing.
But let me open this up. So there has not been any substantive changes, same as the first item. We have made the language match what the legal requirements are. I've been advised on this for Lozano Smith, our legal guidance, and match our collective bargaining agreements to cover the new carve out of CFRA and the changes to that language specifically.
Okay, any questions on that one? And if not, do we have a motion?
Make a motion that we approve the revision to rule 7.21.
And I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, that one is approved. Okay, 4.05, new classification for band instructional assistant. This is a second reading.
And so, not been substantive changes to the classification, but I did meet with the San Luis Obispo High team who is funding this position through VAPA. And then other sites can also fund a position if they'd like to pick this up as well. But they determined that they would like to just have the commission be aware that they think a 160 calendar is gonna be more appropriate than the 135 that I initially had projected. And I told you guys at our last meeting, we were still figuring that out. What does this look like? What does the schedule mean? So they went back to their ILC team, their site leader team, and their program directors and music teachers, and talked about what this would look like, what do they want it to be, and determined that they would be more interested in a 160 calendar because that will include some of the performances without having to supplement with time cards off calendar. So being able to proactively plan and it be a little bit more than be surprised by time cards and it still be a little bit more, they felt was a more judicious approach to the work calendar for this one. So it doesn't really change the position itself, but I did want you guys to know what that would look like if approved.
Okay.
Do you guys want to look through this job description? You want me to scroll down a bit, or do you have any questions about the position?
Nothing
itself?
else was changed from
Just,
last time.
Just the
no.
130.
Yep, just the calendar.
Yeah, I don't think we had any major changes from last time.
And definitely, as you guys are pondering, I would say, I'll give kudos to the Slow High team for being a little bit thinking outside the box. Most school districts, as we are struggling to spend those Prop $28, it's because it's super restrictive on how you can spend it, and you can't it's supplemental, it can't supplant. So we had a pretty deep conversation with many band parents that showed up at the board meeting last night, but nonetheless, it's definitely, I appreciate the creativity in the process for this and the next one. And again, thanks to Rachel for working so closely with the team down there to get this one across the line, hopefully, with your approval.
Okay, any other comments or questions on that one? If not,
I will make a motion that we approve the new classification of band instructional assistant.
And I approve, I second.
all right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, and then 4.06, the new classification for theater and house lead tech, second reading.
So same one here, we've not made any substantive changes. They did also want to keep these positions on the same calendar, so they would put this one on the 160 as well. So no changes to the job description itself, MQs, any of those things that we've already discussed, but they would be adjusting the calendar so that these can work in tandem with the program.
All right, any questions, comments, or motion?
Go ahead.
I will make a motion that we approve the new classification of theater and house lead technician.
And I'll second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, next one, the new 4.07, new classification for bus driver trainee. This is also a second reading.
So no substantive changes. We worked really closely with the department to create this from the onset, and both department managers and employee feedback have had a chance to look at this job description, and we have universal agreement. Being as how this one is not on a calendar, it is a temporary position by nature because it will only be for that trainee purpose. As stated in the last meeting, it wasn't eligible for union representation like the other two new positions are, but they will still be covered under the SEIU umbrella and have rights to seek counsel on those things if they'd like to, but this would be a temporary position.
All right, any comments or questions on that one?
Remind me, I know we talked about this, can you remind me the reason for, what was the rationale for this?
Yeah, absolutely. Great question. So in response to the bus driver shortage and the crisis that is happening all over the state and country, we developed our own internal training program to help support bringing in people that were interested, and just the obstacles to be able to do this job are pretty significant. There is significant training requirements, licensure, fees associated with it, all of these things. So we, BG&T, Mr. Bonin took it upon themselves to create their own, they run a classroom, they run a program, they offer things. And the only way that we had to compensate these people for their time was to onboard them like they were substitute bus drivers. In no capacity are they serving as a substitute bus driver. We can't call them up to pick up a route. They can't, they can't even drive without a supervisor with them, right? So that didn't feel appropriate. I understand how it got to be. We were, plugging holes and trying to make stuff happen. But we realized that that's not the most appropriate. We can do better. We can still do the same things and keep the integrity of what we're doing, but we can make sure that we're keeping it compliant and accurately reflecting what this is while protecting their wage. We kept the same wage. We didn't change any of those things. We just want to make sure that we created classification specs that were accurate to what the expectation was. So that's all this is doing, is just cleaning up, tightening up, making sure that we're doing things transparently, openly, and correctly.
And it's no guarantee of a job, just kind of.
It's not a guarantee of a job,
Right.
just like we can't guarantee any
Right.
jobs in merit system, but it does provide a pathway.
Yeah, it's a step.
And it does make them eligible for employment.
Okay.
Great. Okay, so nothing major was changed there.
No.
From our last time, okay. Any comments, questions, or a motion?
Go for it, Jay.
I will make a motion that we approve the new classification for bus driver trainee.
Yeah, and I second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right.
All right, this link doesn't look like it updated either. But I can,
For 4.08, Yeah.
Yeah.
classification amendment for Proctor.
I will bring, let's see, can I still link notes? Cause no, I will bring this back to you in our next meeting.
Okay. Thank you.
Is it technically inappropriate to just? It is, okay.
Okay, 4.09, reappointment of the joint appointee commissioner.
I wonder who we could be discussing.
Do I need to leave the room?
Yes, we would like to switch into closed session and we'd like to discuss this. We have some concerns that we'd like to address. So I'm gonna go ahead and just read the statement so that I can make sure that I'm capturing the education code references. So the Personnel Commission serves as the merit-based body responsible for administration of the classified service consistent with the California Education Code's merit system provisions. Under state law, a 3-member Personnel Commission is appointed such that 1 member is appointed by the governing board, 1 is appointed by the classified employees, and the 3rd, the joint appointee, is appointed by 2 other commissioners acting together. The California Education Code establishes the statutory framework for Personnel Commission appointments and eligibility. Ed Code Section 45245 requires that 1 member be appointed by the board, 1 by the board upon recommendation of classified employees, and those 2 appointment representatives shall appoint the 3rd appointee. At this time, eligibility criteria is that a commissioner must be a registered voter residing in the district and a known adherent to the principles of the merit system under Education Code 45244 subsection A. Based on the above statutory authority and upon the recommendation of the Personnel Commission, it is recommended that the board approve the reappointment of Rebecca French as the joint appointee member of the Personnel Commission for a term of 3 years, effective 12/31/2025 through 12/31/2028. And we would. So we do need consent from the reappointing commissioner. So with Becky's consent, then we can have a vote from the other 2 members on if they would like to approve the.
I will consent.
Okay, perfect. We got her. Hurry, quick, go.
Then you want a motion, is that what you want?
Yes.
Okay, I move that we approve the reappointment of Rebecca French as a commission joint appointee.
And I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
You have to vote too.
Oh, I do?
Yep, you're still on the commission.
Oh, aye, okay.
Congratulations.
It's like we had 1 dissenter.
Congratulations.
Mazel tov.
Thank you. I do in the community, people do speak of you as a known adherent to the merit system.
Yes. It's what you're famous for.
Yes, oh, yes.
I love that language, known adherent.
Well, you can't be going out there saying that you don't believe it at all. That's pretty much the criteria. Like, yeah, I'll be on the commission.
Oh, dear. Okay, whoa, are we at adjournment?
Mhm.
Wow, that was fast. All right, so next meeting is scheduled for January 14th at 4 p.m. And I think last time we met, we were all good to go? Okay.
And I will put on our next meeting that we can look at wherever we ended our point of calendar verification. I think we ended in March. Then we can just check and see if we can get a little further out in programming, and then we can round out the calendar.
Are we good through the March meeting?
I think it was through March,
Yeah, we were.
Okay,
Yeah, we did
excellent,
that
that's
last
good to
time.
know.
Is Rob still out there or did he leave?
He's skedaddled.
Okay, all right. Thank you, April, and thank you everybody else who is out there in Zoom land.
Thank you. I think it's your sister, Rachel.
Oh, good. Well, I meant to block her, but I'll get that sorted.
That's what you get for letting me
Have a
in.
great holiday, April, and
Thank you,
anybody else
you
out
guys
there.
too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Happy holidays all.
All right, we are adjourned at 4:51 p.m.
Wow, that was a
Wow,
fast meeting.
that was a fast meeting.